Hey, okay, so I'm going to go to the grocery store because I'm going to cook one of my really big meals that I love to. It's not really like a super food, but one of the different programs that I was on for a while called it a super meal. But I wanted to show you what I'm having for breakfast here. Hang on. Okay, and that's this. Peanut butter and banana toast. I absolutely love it. It is so filling. And instead of wasting the banana, because obviously there's only 6 little chunks here, I make a whole bunch of these. They're called banana bites. A little bit of peanut butter and 2 slices of banana. Let me see. You can see, like, see? And they're a great snack too. So what I'll do is I'll make myself the toast, and I'll make the banana bites, and I'll put some saran wrap over the banana bites, and then I'll eat them later on if I get munchy. Okay, so I'm at the grocery store today, picking up some things for one of my favorite recipes. It's not a superfood, but it's a super meal. Okay, so some of the things that I like to put into this meal that I refer to as a super meal is some scallions, green peppers, asparagus is a must. So I'm picking out some pretty good stuff here. And yeah. Now, I personally prefer asparagus that's skinny, but this late in the season, since it is April, we actually have a lot of very thick asparagus. So I mean, that one's not too bad. There's some skinny ones in there. So, yeah. So I have my asparagus, I have my pepper, and I have my scallions. To get oops, as I drop my phone. The other thing I like to get is a ground. She's like, you screwed up my email address. I had to resend everything. I know it's kind of strange to watch somebody talking to themselves in a grocery store, but this is the other thing that really bugs me. The salad bar. It's gone because of COVID. It's another thing COVID took away from me. I used to love to get the salad bar for lunch all the time. I loved that salad bar. Hi. Okay, so my super meal, as I call it. Starts off, I have some ground turkey. This is what I just picked up. And I'm just going to, put it in a frying pan and, brown it. And then I have some ground rice. Now, I generally will buy the stuff that you will cook yourself, but I found this stuff's faster and easier, and when I don't have a lot of time, the Bird's Eye brown ones are really, really good, just a few minutes in the microwave. Then, of course, I have my scallops, my pepper, and my asparagus. The only other thing I use in here, I use onion powder and some red peppers because it gives it a bit of a kick. And I also use garlic. Oh, no, that's the pepper. Where's my garlic? Oh, my garlic's in the fridge. I have to go grab my garlic. And, of course, I use my garlic press, because I prefer the fresh garlic over the minced. And, you cook each one up. You mix it all together. So I will kind of go through this as I go through. So first I'm just going to start browning my meat and cutting up my veggies. Okay, so real quick, apparently I forgot to pick up my garlic when I picked up the rest of my vegetables, so I'm going to have to use the minced garlic, but that's okay. It's still just as good. A little different in the proportions of my overall points, or not points, calculations for your fat, your carbs, and everything else, but still it's the flavor at this point I'm going after because the meal put in and of itself is pretty healthy. Let's see if I can get that a little bit going here. Okay, so now when it comes to my scallions, everybody's different on their liking of scallions. I personally prefer like right in here on the scallion because I think it has the most flavor personally. But a lot of people like to use this part too. So I'll be using a little bit of all of this in there. So let me pause for a minute and wash them so I can cut them up. One quick thing I just wanted to kind of mention when it comes to browning ground turkey. You do have to be very careful because let me turn this around. As you can see, it's very like soft. So you have to make sure that you really get the bottom nice and brown so that you're going to be able to flip it right. Because if not, you know, it doesn't flip and then you can't separate it into nice, easy to eat pieces. So that was a bit of importance. Now, I may wind up cutting this video short, but I'll definitely, if I have to, then I'll just take some pictures when I'm done. Main reason is, I've said many times before that these videos are for me, for accountability, and for like anyone who happens to watch the video. However, I do not like to have the rest of my family walking around while I'm doing these, because everyone always has to caustic comment, and today everybody seems to be home and out and about. So if that happens, I will be stopping the video and just take pictures of everything after, just for fair warning. Okay, and so I finished my scallion. Show you like a handful of them here. Oops. And I cut them about to this size, because they're bite-sized and easy to kind of mix in. Of course, I've lost a few when I accidentally dropped them, but that's okay. And now I'm on to my pepper, obviously cutting out the whole inside, and I've got a dog circling me who, believe it or not, loves peppers. I don't know if you can hear him munching over there. So, and I also cut these down to bite size, because it's just easier for everything to be bite size for this particular recipe. Oops, didn't do too well. Okay. My husband just buzzed by and, you know, tried to wave in there and didn't realize I had paused the video. Okay, so I'm going to try and turn this. Okay, so here you can see it browning very nicely. I have a few pink spots in here, but you can see that's where I had to do the first browning. And there really isn't anything that really needs to be like drained when all is said and done on this. Unlike some like ground beef or something like that, where there's lots to drain. There's very little to drain with this. So like I have said before, asparagus, you know, some people don't like it. I happen to love it. But I also like the thinner pieces. Now there are some really thick ones here, as you can see by the bases here. So I'm going to pull out all of the thinner ones for this recipe right now. Okay, so now obviously that was a huge thing of asparagus that I had, and I certainly am not going to use it all in one recipe. Ooh, that one's kind of soft all the way around. So I will put the rest of it away for a later date, but you have to eat it rather quickly too, because if not, it'll start to go bad on you. Okay, so here are all the vegetables pre-cut up. Like I said, everything's in bite sizes because it's just easier with what we're doing. And these ones back here, those are just for me to munch on right now. Because I'm bad, I always pick on them there. As you can see here now, yeah, there's, yeah, and here's the browned turkey. Okay, so I cooked the brown rice in the microwave, so it's very, very hot at the moment. And I don't know how well I'm going to be able to kind of show this. I always have to lift it up to show you. I always put the brown rice in first. Okay. And into this is where I tend to then mix all of my additional. Let's see if I can maybe bring this down here. Okay, yeah, that might work. Okay. But that's where I tend to mix all of my additional stuff in. I kind of mix it into the rice. So I put some of the onion powder, you know, and of course you gotta have the garlic. The garlic is like a huge thing to me. So okay, and then I only mix in about half of my handfuls of these. I need a spoon. Hang on. I also realized I had forgotten to put this in, so I just put this in too. As I was grabbing my spoon. So I just kind of mix that all up into the rice so the rice has a really good flavor. And you get that bit of a spicy flavor from the red peppers and the onions and the garlic mixed into your rice. You get it all really mixed up good. The rest of the stuff I add in with the ground beef and kind of then mix it all up together. So I slowly add the ground beef. Not the ground beef, the ground turkey, excuse me. Very, very important. I have to make sure that I specify I'm using ground turkey. And again, it's like I've kind of tried to chop it up as best I can, so it's like, again, just in like little bite-sized pieces. And of course, I once again add a little bit of these into my food. Oops, wrong side. And then I just go ahead and I add the rest of my vegetables into the top. Oops, and I just had a scallion roll off my... Excuse me. So they're all kind of like mixed in here like this. Most important thing at this point is to mix the rice with the spices that you put in it and the meat so that you get a little bit of everything. So you want to dig it down to the bottom to pull the rice up to the top. And this way you're kind of forcing everything else down in too. So it's a good mixture. Of course, leave it to me to spill it. Hang on. Now, what's nice about this particular meal is that can be used either A, as a side dish. So you use like half a cup or, a full cup as a side dish and then have whatever you want as your main meal. This would be like your little veggie mix. Or I tend to do 2 cups as my full lunch. And if I eat that during the school day, by the end of the day, I am still stuffed. I'm not really ready to eat dinner until like almost 7 o'clock that night. That's how filling this particular meal is. And for someone like me who's on the go a lot and doesn't always have time to eat, feeling hungry during the course of the day will mean going to the teacher's room and grabbing snacks or stopping at McDonald's or Burger King on the way home because I'm stomach growling and hungry. With a meal like this, I'm full that even when I get home, I'm not in the mood to cook because I'm not hungry. So this is a really good meal for those people who are like on the go and have a lot going on. And like I said, it is really good. Let's see if I can, hang on. Okay, so as you can see, it's just like you can see the rice and all the different veggies. Now it does look kind of bland because it's only 2 colors, white and green. But you can add the joy of this recipe is you can add any type of vegetable you want. The whole point is to have ground turkey, the rice, any spices except salt, and any vegetables that you want to mix in. I chose asparagus, peppers, and scallions because they are by far my favorites. But there you go. There's the, and you just scoop. Now this is a huge batch, obviously. But this is for my meals for the whole week for lunches. So I'll set them up into my lunches and I'll heat them up about 1.5 minutes in the microwave for lunch. So I wanted to come outside and do my usual little wrap up that I try to after each video that I make. Obviously this one was segmented because I was at the grocery store. I did my breakfast and then in the grocery store and then cooked the meal for you at home, so it was a little segmented, but it was all one big day. I do not have any exercise really to report today. 1, because it is still early in the day, and 2, because I will be honest with you. I want you to look at this over here. This was, even though it says on it today, that was actually yesterday. As you guys have heard me mention before, I'm a theater director. Well, yesterday was the first day of set build. And as you can see, I was, I did over 10,000 steps. So it was just a 9-hour day long, up and down steel 10-foot ladder a couple times, and just too long of a day. So anyway, thanks for watching.